So, rule number one is referrals mostly happen from events. Rule number two is referrals happen if once you get them to the event, you get name, address, phone number, email address, and you continually and constantly follow up with them. Okay? The other important thing to keep in mind with that is the turnout at the event. See, I've seen schools, and we give them the whole outline. They say, yeah, I did this big thing like you told me to, and I only had one friend there. Well, see, I've heard sales, I forget who said it, but sales defined as a transference of enthusiasm, right? You give your brown belt kid on the floor who has no vested interest and no enthusiasm in this, and you say, hey, build up this big event this Friday and get everybody to come, and now you have one person show up. It's not that the idea didn't work, right? It's the kid promoting it didn't work, right? And so, again, how many times does your student need to hear or see about the event in order to know about it? Well, the rule of thumb in media used to be 7 times. I think the rule of thumb is more like 15 times now. If you see how many different advertising messages people are exposed to every day. So you've got to get repetition in promoting the event. The other thing you've got to do, remember the high touch thing? If I have a class of 20 people and I announce it to 20 people, it's one thing. I go up and put my hand on each one of the kids' shoulders or each one of the parents' shoulders and tell them, now we have this thing this Saturday at 1. I wanted to make sure you've got it on your calendar. Oh, you've got your iPhone. Good. Make sure you put it in your calendar because it's very important that you be here, or very important that Billy be here. See, that's a world of difference, right? So you've got to make sure that any of these things that you do, that you're interacting with the student, if it's a kid with a parent, that you're putting your hand on their shoulder, that you're phoning them at home, that you're also mailing to them, emailing to them, announcing in class 12 or 15 times, or else they just won't get it. Does that make sense? Okay. So, if I want to do the marketing plan for 20 students this month, I start with that. I say, what are all of the events that we could do internally, right? So, I'd go through all my students and look at when birthday parties are and schedule a whole bunch of birthday parties. Now, that may be in August, not now, right? I'd also go through and create at least an event a week that we're going to have a lot of friends and family members come to. And the next thing is, especially if you have a big kids enrollment, I've seen a lot of schools that have always screwed up enrolling the parents, right? And in any one of our schools, we usually have one parent for half the kids, right? So if we have, let's say, 100 kids, you would have 150 students, 50 parents, okay? Now, the way you do that is you've got to make sure that all the kids' classes are family classes. You can't have kids' classes and you can't separate adult classes. And you certainly can't do the stupid Melanie Schumann thing that she's done. The Little Ninja program is fabulous. However, if you take that to an extreme, it screws up everything. So you can't have a class for the 4 and 5-year-olds and a class for the 6 to 8-year-olds and a class for the 9 to 12. That doesn't work. Yeah. It's got to be that the family comes down at one time. And so, in the rule of thumb, and especially if you have a strong following in the adult market, a 32-year-old male or female who's coming in for themselves won't take class with a 7-year-old and like that. However, a 7-year-old who has mom or dad in class and other parents in class loves it. Okay? Mom or dad of the 7-year-old loves taking class with their kids. They have a family activity. Okay? They also don't mind that there's some other just adults-only classes that are like a higher level workout. They get to hit the bag more one way or another that are optional, right? Like I just personally went and enrolled a family, and dad's going to come to one adults-only class and one kids class, and mom's going to come to both